The views and opinions expressed on this program do not reflect the company, owners, management, staff, clients, or partners.
It's Wednesday, the 7th day of June, 2023. Welcome to Bermuda's Daily Talk Show. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House, and Lindos. I'm Jamal Hartman. She's Sherry Vanderpool, and Maya Palazzo will be with us in a bit to bring you the latest in her news break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Greetings, Sherry.
Good morning, Jamal. How are you?
Or should I say, look who showed up, folks.
What do you mean? I was here last week.
Well, I mean, you should have seen what the audience was saying about you yesterday. How could Sherry just leave you hanging? And that sent you should have heard them. I was like,
I did hear them, and they said nothing of a sort, Jamal. If they was like me, I was driving like, Lord, please let them behave today. Please.
Well, I did get some. I was well behaved yesterday. So,
but you forgot the days of the year. But I mean, other than that, that was
yeah. I forgot days there. I forgot the quote, but I got them at the end. Just didn't remember to do them. See, guys, that's what I'm telling you. Hey, it's a lot of work. You got to remember what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not turning the camera on and saying blah 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 blah. But anyway.
But you did a good job, Jamal.
Yeah, whatever. You didn't show up. How was your weekend?
It was good. I was trying to remember what I did.
Like an R&B concert or something?
I did, Jamal. It was so much fun. I went to the R&B experience at the State Farm Arena here in Atlanta. Got to see Trey Songz, Escape 112, Aldebarge, who still has his vocals. Next tweet, Tyrese, don't need to see him anymore. He complains too much. He can sing, but he complains. Oh, my mic's not working. Can't hear the background singers. But I saw them a few years ago, and he did the same thing. So just like, okay, Tyrese.
Maybe he just doesn't like live. We've got somebody who's lying to you. Sean DeShield says, "Welcome back, Sherry. Sherry, you were truly missed, madam."
Oh, thank you, Sean. Somebody who truly loves me, just like
I'm
my
sure
sister.
Marcy, actually probably loves you too. She just doesn't say it louder than how much she loves me. But good morning to you, Sister Marcia. Bradshaw to you as well. Well, anyway, greetings everyone, and thanks for making us part of your daily routine. A good one today as we welcome ocean educator, lover, and executive Weldon Wade on. We're discussing, and we're celebrating Ocean Day, right? And I think anyone who lives in Bermuda or near water should appreciate Ocean Day every day. You know what I mean? It's your makeup. It's part of your culture and your heritage and who you are, whether you like me and like it or not. The daily play is music today. I don't know what's in there yet, so we'll just have to pull out the box. I just hope it's something difficult. I mean, no. I was doing opposite. I meant easy. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. So, folks, yesterday we introduced something new, and that was the ability to comment on our website. And after the show, I'm going to call names: Sean DeShields, Nicole Walker, and B. Denise Hollis. You guys actually commented on the website, not the video. So because of you, we've actually created a video so that people can know how to chat live on the website during the show. All right. So here's a quick video before we get into today's conversation and discussion, so you all can know what Angeline Butler did and how you can comment live during the show.
So we want to help you to learn how to chat while watching the Daily Hour on the website. So first you want to go to thedailyhour.com and then you scroll down until you see live. And where you see live, that's where you'll see the live episode of the show. You want to hit play and make sure you're tuned in. Then you'll see the join the chat button. You click that. And once you hit the join the chat button, all you do is put your name in. My name is, well, Jamal, first name, and then my last name is Hartman. And so just hit join the chat. And now you can literally chat. Now, if you wanted to change your name, all you do is hit edit name right there. But otherwise, it's that easy. That's how you can watch and engage live on thedailyhour.com.
All right, folks. So that's how you can chat live with us during the show. Again, a couple of people went down and hit the Let's Chat button, which is on most websites where you chat with someone. That's not the button. You want to go down next to the video right now. All of you can go on the website next to the video live where you're watching us. There's a chat option where you can just chat and your comments will come through. There you go. Marquita Lee just did it. So that's that easy.
Let me just say something, guys. You know, I tease Jamal about how much he's a grump and, you know, all of this kind of things. But when I tell you little things like this excites my guy, he is so excited about this. And I love it. I love it.
You bet your boots. I am excited because, and I'll tell you why. I shared something. I'm gonna be very vulnerable and share some stuff with the audience today. So I shared something with the TDH group yesterday, a voice note that came through from an actual relative of mine, and they basically said that, you know, they're subscribed on YouTube, hit notifications, Facebook, everything, but they just don't get the notifications anymore. They don't get, you know, they used to get notifications when we're on. Folks, when you start to grow and when you know, make $1 or something, the algorithms work against you on social media. So Shara's right. I am happier than happy with this because the ultimate goal is for you to go to our website and watch the show and be able to engage like you would on any other platform. That way, all you have to do is make the Daily Hour, bookmark the page, and every morning, like you turn on your radio, just go on the internet, go on dailyhour.com and watch the show. So we appreciate you very much for engaging with us. And my goal is just to make it easier and easier for you to be a part of this show. So thank you. And Sherry, I love your hair. Oh, Sam Cat Place, you heard me too? Sam Cat Place said, love your hair, Sherry. Welcome back.
Thank you, my natural dude. See how long it is? Oh my goodness, right?
We love it.
But yeah, it'll be back in some braids soon. But thank you.
Why are you trying to get me in trouble, Sam Cat? Like, why?
He didn't. He never notices Sam Cat Place, never.
You all know I'm oblivious, and it has nothing to do with my love for my colleagues, all right? Bermuda Evolve tuning in. Yes, on our website. Thank you, Bermuda Evolve. We appreciate you. All right, so let's jump into today's conversation. Folks, if you are on our Instagram live Instagram page, if you follow us, you know what the questions are going to be most likely before the day of. So we asked the question yesterday, and I'm going to share with you why we asked the question. So on Twitter, over the last, some guy started following me. He's from Maine, Portland, Maine. Now, believe it or not, Portland, Maine is one of my favorite places to visit. If you don't know me, here's a bit about me when I travel. I'm okay traveling by myself. I'll go find the hole in the wall and I will sit off and make friends. I don't care if it's the whitest of white establishment, they don't speak English establishment. That's just who I was. I'm not quite sure if I'm still who I was 4 or 5 years ago. I don't know if I'm as friendly. But all that said, this gentleman from Portland, Maine started following me on Twitter, Sherry, and he just had a love for Bermuda. So let me just go find his page. So he took a cruise to Bermuda. His name is, man, what's his name? Hold on 2 seconds. I tweet a lot. Can't find a tweet. I thanked him. Oh, here's his name, Keith Gore, right? So Keith Gore is at Gore Keith, so G-O-U-R Keith. So he traveled to Bermuda on his cruise and has about 279 followers. And I think a lot of them are now Bermudians who enjoyed what he'd done. But he gave a lot of feedback of his trip. He didn't let the rain discourage him. Think about what we've been complaining about, the rain lately. He found the sunshine in his rain. And he took, video of everything, like from, entering Bermuda to the caves. And when the sun came up and he said, Bermuda, I'm coming, bring sunshine. He was just a light on a dark day for our island, who has, pretty much been under a dark cloud over the last 3 weeks or so, right? So someone tweeted, we should do something special for people like, so I retweeted, I said, thanks for visiting, right? And then someone said something to the point, Keith Gore deserves to be Bermuda's first ever tourist of the year. Now, I responded, when people show the sort of love that he is for Bermuda, they deserve to be shown appreciation too. Here's the thing, folks. Here's the thing. People like Keith Gore have traditionally been ignored because they're cruise visitors, right? And we know that cruise visitors traditionally have not put money into the coffers of Bermuda. They usually eat on board, spend on board. However, I've been a proponent of trying to find ways to turn cruise visitors into hotel visitors. So that's the question of the morning. We have a person who visits Bermuda on cruises, loves Bermuda, and he even said when he returns, he hopes to stay longer. That basically is an invitation to get this person in a hotel. Question of the morning, how can we turn cruise visitors into hotel guests? That's the question. What do you have? Should I go to Instagram first, Sherry?
Yeah.
Let's go to Instagram first. Let's see what Instagram's over there saying. How can we accomplish this? So Instagram, oh, we've got another one. Hold on. Let's just add this additional one now, and then we'll see what Instagram's saying. So the same question was asked on Instagram, folks, and we appreciate you all sharing your perspectives. This is community. These are community conversations. So how can we turn cruise visitors into hotel guests? The first comment we received back, it says, attractive all-inclusive deals. Well, cruises are all-inclusive, right? So I think, although I'm not a fan of all-inclusives, it's not about what I like. It's about really, would it work without crumbling Bermuda's economy, all right? Another person says, well, this is obvious. Get hotels first. Well, we need to build hotels. Another person says offer package deals. Well, we know cruise visitors are looking for value deals. They're looking for pay once and that's it, right? So that's what people are saying. And then someone said lower the cost of living. They all say the same thing, is expensive as hell here. Okay, that's a big picture thing. Another person says the only way is to reduce costs. Cruise visitors are the most cost-conscious travelers there are. And last person says, duh, build more reasonable priced hotels. All righty. So, folks, what are your thoughts? What do you think? How can we turn cruise visitors into hotel guests?
Jamal, you gotta take the cruise off the water and put it on the land, right? And so we have to find that pocket for our cruise visitors. And if that means that we need to do at least one all-inclusive hotel or give a package deal that will work for cruise persons, then that's something that we need to really consider. They are looking for value for their money. As a person who has been a taxi driver, the one person that would try to haggle me down on a meter price is a cruise visitor. It's like, no, this is the price. So we definitely need to find a pocket that we can offer cruise visitors. And I think that would help with the part of the tourism crisis that we have going on. They need value for their money, and we need to provide something on land. Something. I don't mind an all-inclusive hotel at all. Like pay, go and eat as much as I want, do what I don't mind that.
Yeah, I mean, I've stayed in some high-end all-inclusives that actually changed my mind. So I agree. The first one I stayed in Panama was just like, get me the bleep out of here, and we legit did end our stay after one night, and got the bleep out of there. Sam Cat
Really?
says, give them value for their money. Cruises offer more, so you can compare on the ground versus floating hotel. Sean DeShield says, I asked the same question at a BTA summit and was told by Kevin Dallas that cruise visitors are not interested in returning as air visitors. I mean, I know he's not the, sharpest knife in the drawer, but to Kevin Dallas's point, maybe that is the case. But I think instead of being lazy and just accepting that, Sean Smith basically says it right here. That's easy. Ask them. So if they're not interested in returning as air visitors, ask them why. And then guess what? Like in business, you deal with the why. I think that's lazy. And as a former CEO of the Bermuda Tourism Authority, to say that without saying, okay, for me, if I'm going to say, well, cruise visitors are not interested in returning as air visitors, I will follow that up with saying, however, we're doing a deep dive in research to find out why, right? Now, if he did explain why, then he needs to say, okay, and this is how we're going to deal with it. This is how we're trying to fix this problem.
And you have some cruise visitors that have said, I wish I could stay longer. I didn't have enough time. I wish I could have been able to explore past one particular beach. Mm-hmm. So there are persons that wish that they could stay longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Teresa Emery says Grotto Bay offers all-inclusive. Yeah, it's an all-inclusive option. So it's probably changed, but let's say the hotel was $300 a night. The all-inclusive option used to be an additional $109. The challenge with, I think, a Grotto Bay is most all-inclusive hotels have multiple different restaurant options. They're just bigger properties, and I think that's the challenge. Like if a property like Fairmont Southampton had an all-inclusive option with the amount of hotels, the amount of amenities and space, it will probably be comparable with like cruise ships or other places. But she is correct. Grotto Bay has offered an all-inclusive option for many years. Sean DeShield says, I did the research and asked over 1,000 cruise ship passengers the same question, and the majority confirmed that BDA was too expensive to consider returning. All right, so it's too expensive. So I think the based on that research is how do we, because cruises are not as cheap once you start adding up that alcohol and the picture, all those things they try to sell you in addition, right? Pictures, all that stuff, and then excursions and all the like. I think a hotel should have an easier deal working with locals to get things included. For me, if I were a local hotel, and some of them used to do it, some of them may do it, but make a part of your all-inclusive. Be creative. Being creative. I'm going to do some work for the hotels right now. Be creative. What I mean is, Sherry and Jamel, we own a 100-room hotel. We know that we only have 2 restaurants on site. So what we're going to do is we're going to work with a local restaurant company that owns about 3 restaurants and include them in our all-inclusive option. So that gives people more opportunity. However, this is something that was also suggested, and I believe some of the local Bermuda hotels used to do this. If you feel like all-inclusive takes away from your hotel experience, only offer it November through March, the slower months.
Yeah.
Right? Like be creative like that. I do believe that it's more of a value problem than a cost problem, personally, based on my experience in tourism. I think it's a value problem. We spoke about it the other day with Sencha in terms of, a Courtyard Marriott, right? Fairfield Inn, some of Marriott's lowest brand hotels, right? Run you 100 something a night in most cities, if that. Most of Bermuda's hotels are on that level, but are charging 300, 400 and up. Yeah. So I think people want to see that value,
Yeah, and my all-inclusive experience was wonderful. It was an adult only. I had a bar in my room. There was multiple, restaurants and things to do. It was times where you didn't even feel like leaving, but the value was brought to where I was at that time. So it does. And a lot of times they have sister hotels that you can go to and experience other excursions. So it's something to consider. It really is.
Indeed. Amani's Cookie Company says, create very personalized experiences. They meet our people and interact with them. Shikarena, she says, when we get hotels back, maybe they can offer prepaid excursions like cruises. I think some used to do this. Yes, and those kind of things. Like, again, I used an example, like work with some local restaurants, work with some excursions, include those into some of your packages. Sean DeShields goes on to say, Great Points SV. That's Sherry Vanderpool. And most cruise passengers I surveyed did confirm how they wish they could stay longer in Bermuda. Charles H. Jefferson II says hotels could offer all-inclusive cruise visitors one night if they stay 3 or more nights. If they come back within 12 to 8 months, I bet Keith would take advantage of that. Oh, there you go. I mean, simple things like that. Offer them a night or two. I mean, and give it to them a time of year. Like, if you know April or March or slower months, or maybe November, like, work with them, like, get them here longer. But for me, I just think there's an opportunity if we're willing to work for it. I see an opportunity in that. Folks, how can we turn cruise visitors into hotel guests? How can we do it? If you're looking at Bermuda as a destination, right? Many in the tourism space feel like cruises and cruise visitors are killing our economy. They think that. They feel that. How can we get them to help our economy?
You have to provide a great offer, Jamal, that is going to provide some value. And we have to be able to look at the various options and try some of them to figure it out. The only way to just shut it down and say it's not going to work or we can't do it is where we're at right now, right? So we have to at least put something in place. One of these ideas, an all-inclusive package, giving away some free nights during slow months, and so forth. We have to try one of them. But like we said, we need a hotel, right? Got to start there first.
Put an S in back of that. Hotels. Yep, we definitely do. No, I think it's an interesting conversation. It's definitely. I mean, we need solutions. We need to find a way to, get people on island for longer periods and get people spending in the economy. Sean DeShields says there was an initiative that encouraged cruise passengers to stay at local hotels while in port, but it was unsuccessful as they couldn't afford meals at the respective hotels. Sean Smith says, when you ask better questions, you're able to put forward offers that they will buy. Teresa Ann says upscale tents on the beaches. And Sean DeShields says price value is the key to motivating them to return. I mean, it's as simple as that. Look, folks, I was online yesterday on Expedia.
Me too, Jamal.
Looking at tickets to Bermuda for July. And I probably at this point should bring Maya in before I get emotional and rude and disrespectful about why the bleep would someone pay that amount to go to Bermuda when they can pay probably $200, $300 to go somewhere else that's going to cost them less than airfare, hotel, and purchasing of food. Like, I love Bermuda. I love Bermudians. But I think just from this conversation, it's clear that we know we're not offering great value and best bang for buck.
And the thing is, Jamal, and we're going to pay all of this for a price for a ticket, and we have somewhere to stay for free.
Yeah. Don't say
that's the key killer.
My family might start charging me. Don't stay for free.
Yeah, my friend might do the same, but you get what I'm saying.
But you're right. You're right, Sherry. You're right. Anyway, let's bring Maya in. Wonder if she has an opinion. I mean, I'm not a cruise person, but again, it's not about me. It's not about me. I'm not a cruise person. I would rather fly somewhere, but I can only fly places that I can afford to enjoy. Just keep that in mind. It's time for Daily
Then
Hour.
you might want to be on a boat.
I don't know. Me and boats don't get along. Spring Maya in for the Daily Hour news break. Don't forget, we've got Weldon Wade coming up. A really important conversation. We're talking about our beautiful blue backyard.
Good morning. Good morning.
Greetings, Maya. How are you?
Listening into this conversation is all.
We appreciate you listening to the conversation. But you know what? I would love to hear if you have an opinion on it. Sorry.
I don't think I have an opinion on it today, but when you guys were talking and you said that you guys are on Expedia, I go to cheapflights.com. I don't know.
Oh, I gotta try that.
But I always go,
Cheapflights.com.
this is what I do. Like for some reason I feel like this works. It might not, but I always go to an incognito window so that all my memory or whatever doesn't know what I'm looking for. And then I kind of fake my dates as to what I would want to go and make it really wide range to see if it actually falls and they turn into like an alternative date. So that's how I kind of try to find cheap flights.
See, you learn things on the daily hour, folks.
I went to Orbitz the other day.
I forgot about Orbitz. Man,
Yeah. And I found a good price for flights for me. I can't go direct, but that's fine. I might have to just suck that part up.
Man,
on a whole different airline that I'm not used to, but it's like $500 cheaper, Jamal.
Do you all remember that guy who tried to get to Bermuda in that blow up ball or something a couple years ago from Miami? He tried to, crawl his way in that
yes,
Bermuda a couple years ago. But anyway, if the price don't come down, I don't like the water or something, but I might have to try a little something. He didn't make it far. He didn't make it far. The U.S. Coast Guard had to go out get him, but we may have to float there or something. But anyway,
was he trying to break a record or something? No, I'm curious because why would you want to do that?
I think it was Guinness Book something he was trying to go for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he weren't one of us. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, good morning, everyone. This is the Daily Hour News Break brought to you by People's Pharmacy. Starting out this morning's news, I think we all heard about it yesterday, but here's some more in-depth details. So right now, a 69-year-old visitor from the United States is currently being treated in the ICU as his injuries from a collision yesterday, are now deemed to be life-threatening. There's more details to come, so I'm just going to this image of the police up here. But yesterday, around 3:20 Tuesday, June 6th, a reported two-motorcycle vehicle collision happened on Mullet Bay Road, St. George's, just past Swing Bridge, before the junction with Stokes Point Road. Police found two males and a female lying in the roadway. One male, 69-year-old visitor from the United States, was unresponsive and has suffered a serious head injury. His 66-year-old wife and pillion passenger, also visiting from the U.S., sustained minor bruises about her body. She was conscious and alert. The other male, a 50-year-old Bermudian national, sustained injuries to his neck and left hand. He too was conscious and alert. The injured parties were attended by the EMTs and later transported to the hospital for the further treatment of their injuries. At last check, the American man was warded at the hospital's intensive care unit. His injuries, again, like I said, now deemed as life-threatening. His wife remains in the hospital emergency department, as does the Bermudian male. Their injuries are not considered life-threatening. Details of the collision are limited. However, it is understood both men were traveling in opposite directions. The collision resulted in the roadway being, as you may have known, closed for approximately 1 hour, then traffic being restricted to one lane for a further 3 hours while the scene was forensically processed. Now, the police wishes to thank the community for, their caution during this whole entire ordeal, but they are also aware of WhatsApps being posted several times, which indicated the collision was as a result of a police chase involving one motorcycle rider. They wish to dispel that unfounded rumor, as there was no police chase in the progress when the collision occurred.
Very sad, and really wishing everyone involved speedy recovery. Sort of life-threatening, and one request is if people, when these accidents happen, you don't need to send like the video and pictures of like the actual vehicles and stuff like that. You could just explain, look, it's an accident, traffic's backed up. You don't even need to take pictures because you don't know if someone's in a work vehicle and not supposed to be in that area and their license plate. Like, just be a bit, we don't have to overshare. Just say, look, you're stuck in traffic. You can let people know. Yeah. I don't know. Something rubs me the wrong way about doing that. And I know you're not showing the victims, but still people identify vehicles that are involved and they may say, oh, that's my cousin's. It might be the first time they're finding out that their relative is in an accident or their partner. You get what I'm saying? So I just want us as a small community to be a bit more conscious when we're out there taking pictures of accidents and so on and sharing them.
And that's exactly why the police ask people not to. And again, because you want to have the family be the first ones to know.
Yeah.
It's the most horrifying thing to find out in that way. It's never good.
Indeed.
Well, next up on the news break, the UK blood donation rule has changed. Have you guys heard of the UK blood donation rule?
What was it?
Okay, so first off, the Bermuda Blood Donation Center is happy to announce that people who spent time in the UK, France, and certain other countries between 1980 and 1996 will now be able to donate blood. Does it sound familiar now?
Nope.
Okay, so if you ever donated blood before, you may have seen this rule pop up, and they ask you when you press yes or no and ticking your whole way through that have you been in the UK or other countries between 1980 and 1996? Well, that purpose was because during those times there was this, I guess you could say it, infection within the cows. You could call it mad cow disease, but there's a better medical term for it, where they didn't know how this got transferred, and so they're being very cautious during that time of not allowing people who were there at that time to, donate blood during the years later. So just for more clarification on that change, this blood donor criteria was initially imposed in 2000. It stopped people donating if they had spent a certain amount of times in the UK and other European countries. This was due to the concern of potential exposure to meat cows from bovine spongiform encephalopathy. There's evidence that this can cause the variant the disease ECJD in humans. More common term is mad cow disease, which causes a rare brain disorder that leads to dementia. Now, doctors in Bermuda says our primary concern is always blood safety. Research shows that the risk to patients is negligible from receiving blood products from people who spent time in Europe between 1980 and 1996, and this has been supported by real-world evidence. They go on to say that in the entire world, 232 people had been affected by it, 178 whom were in Britain. Cases in the UK have been declining since 2003, with only 2 cases over the last 10 years, or 2013 to 2016, and there has never, ever been any case in Bermuda. They went through a whole thorough check in Bermuda processing as well to take this away, and they're kind of following the guidelines of what's already been stated in other states and countries that they're taking away this rule because there's no proof that it actually is transmitted through blood, or inevitable proof.
Interesting.
I honestly knew nothing about that. Thank you for that. That's interesting.
Okay, well, all the blood donors out there know and now, and all the new blood donors hopefully will know soon too. So next up, as we talked about it before, the potholes in Bermuda, or the Ministry of Public Works is updating the public on the ongoing efforts to repair numerous potholes that have emerged due to the prolonged period of torrential rainfall experienced in Bermuda. So they are now going around, they've done about 7 areas on the island for potholes. I know it's a funny topic, but it is a serious topic because these potholes have been quite serious on the roads. This one particularly, I know the space, and they actually had a cone in this pothole because it was that deep. It was that deep. They had a really big orange cone. So now that one is filled up, and they've done about 7 areas around the island so far.
Maya, I'm only laughing because Twitter doesn't give anybody a break. And everyone's like, those Oreo crumbs again? They're putting those Oreo crumbs. And so I was like, okay.
The asphalt, yes.
But I'm saying that because they're not paving the whole thing, it's easier to come right back up, right?
Oreo crumbs.
They will come back up. Once if it rains again as hard as it does, it will come back up. Because I've had many times when we filled things around areas where I work, and it's just like they come back. The potholes come back if you're not doing a whole pavement operation.
As you may have seen, and we spoke about yesterday or day before, what was the email again? Potholes@gov.com.
Right up here, yes.
Yes, there's an official potholes email, folks. So make sure you send in your emails to potholes@gov.bm if you come across any. All right. Yeah.
That just tickles you, doesn't it?
It really makes my day that we have an email for potholes. Trust me. Yeah.
Next up on my news break today, so Roxanne Christopher was the former safety officer. She was responsible for multiple legislation actually in Bermuda's roads that have been passed, including the TCD training, the seatbelt law, and many more. She's currently sitting on the Bermuda Water Safety Council, but I got to have a nice chat with her the other day. It was quite long, and I hope to have that interview up for you guys before the end of this week. But here's a short clip of some of the things that the Junior Road Safety Council actually did, and some information on helmets that she was very keen to share that I think a lot of people should be tapped in to listen to this.
There are other things. Of course, there's a proclamation. There are events in school. We had a very active Junior Road Safety Council. The Junior Road Safety Council was very active in spreading the message at the individual high schools about how important it was to be road safe. And, young people, of course, think that they're invincible, but even the mere fact of replacing your helmet after you get into a crash, because a helmet is meant to work when it is supposed to. You may get into a crash and luckily you don't sustain injury, but the helmet has been compromised with the structural integrity. And so if you get in a crash, you are supposed to replace your helmet. Some people may pass on a helmet from generation to generation, from father to son to grandson. And when that helmet's supposed to work, more than likely it will not, because it has sustained multiple crashes over the years. So the Junior Road Safety Council was even able to educate our young people about just the mere fact of replacing your helmet. So they were the agents within our schools. And because, of course, as older individuals, we want to be able to speak to the children where they are. We don't want to preach to them. We want to have conversations with them. And that was one of the active roles of the Road Safety Council.
I remember when she was had that position, she was probably one of the most active that you had at the time. But I want to just touch on the helmets for a second, because I remember people would tease people for having buckets or certain type of helmets. But the truth is, the helmets are not there for fashion. They have an actual purpose, right? Mm-hmm. And she's correct. Like, we need to be making sure that the helmets are new and they're not being passed on. Like, there are people who just put a helmet on a child that may be too big for him, and it's somebody's old helmet. Please take heed. What she's saying is necessary and it's important.
Yes. And I do want to say this comment that was actually sent to me last time the current chairman was here on the show. This person that sent this to me on Meeting Mara, they said, "My son is a member of the Youth Road Safety Council. He is very willing to continue to participate and is now disappointed as there hasn't been a meeting for several months. What is the intent with this group? Our young people want to share their opinions, experiences, and have a voice. This can be a positive outlet for them who have been traumatized because of the behaviors of others." Now, bringing back this initiative that the former Road Safety Officer, Sir Roxanne Christopher, had just stated, maybe that's something that the Junior Road Safety Council can bring back for the Junior Road Safety Council.
Alrighty.
Awesome.
Now, in other news, do you know the different options or career options in reinsurance industry, you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they've been on the show enough to tell us the different options. I think I listened.
Sure. Underwriting, brokerage.
I mean,
there's a ton more, even like in the marketing realm or whatever it might be. There's a lot of options when it comes to reinsurance. Yeah. So Athene is actually having this big expo going on, the Career Expo, which is taking place on June 13th, and they are encouraging high school and university students to find out more about the life of reinsurance world. There will be networking sessions and keynote speakers and a chance to get a professional headshot as well. And even if you're not in high school or university, but you're an adult just looking to even change your career, they encourage you to come out as well too. And you can register there at the bottom at lifecareerexpo.com.
Okay. Yeah, she was on the show, Natasha Scotland Coursey, and she had a lot of good information to have. I would encourage people to go check it out.
Yeah, even if you don't think that reinsurance is your niche, like, see what else they have to offer. Maybe it might fall into something that you actually might love. Yeah. But closing out my news today, the Department of Youth, Sport and Recreation is holding another zone in to speak with the Minister Darrell about the Bermuda National Youth Policy. The event will take place on June 29th at the Blue Diamond Young Men's Social Club from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. They are encouraging like the university age as well, 18 plus, to be there to be able to talk about what's happening.
All right. Check it out. What's the weather looking like? Oh, we're getting sunnier days.
Yes, and I'm mad because I was going to put on my shades and I left them on my bed. But yeah, it's going to be mainly sunny today, and I'm really excited about that, with a high of 79 degrees, some little bit of wind and a moderate, but sun.
All righty, Sherry, what's the days of the year?
Look at Maya all excited. Today is Get Pumped and Get Those Legs Moving. Jamal, today is Global Running Day. Did you do your run this morning?
Yeah, I did 2 miles. Probably my worst over the last 3 months, but I was
okay. Moving on. Whether you're a regular runner or a bit of a novice, it doesn't matter. This day is about inspiring each other to lead a more active lifestyle. No matter the distance covered, Jamal, simply grab your running shoes, a bottle of water, and get your legs moving. That's all you. I do walking. I do not run.
Yeah.
I trot.
It just had to happen on Global Run Day. Anyway, so I tricked Maya, folks. We're going to do a joke of the day real fast before Maya goes, because we haven't done one in a while. Wow, she really just laughed us like that.
Maya, it's about leaving me at this point.
All right, here's your joke of the day, folks. We haven't done one in a while. All right, here we go. All right. Where does a fish keep its money?
And its gills, pockets, pocket gill, gill pocket. I'm close.
Hang on, let me reefs, scales.
On scales, pocket scales.
Go ahead, Jamal. Make us laugh.
Where does a fish keep its money? In the riverbank.
Boo, boo.
Thank you, Maya.
Tomato. That wasn't even clever. It was
Where's
boring.
my boo button? Maya, you should have a boo button. I know
I
you
should
got
have a
some.
boo button. I do. I have something. You know what? I'll be sure to get a boo button.
You know, we have a very important guest waiting. This is enough. You know, YouTube.
I'm sorry, Weldon. I'm actually excited for this because I plan to go scuba diving soon. So.
Yeah, whatever. Abusive lady.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Maya. We'll see you soon. Folks, don't go anywhere. Take a quick break and we'll be back with Weldon Wade. We're talking about our beautiful blue backyard. Stick with us.
People's ACW, located at King Edward VII Memorial Hospital, carries over-the-counter medicines, toys, cards, and even toiletries. Our knowledgeable staff are there whether you're at emergency, visiting family, or a member of BHB staff, to show you our best even when you're feeling your worst. People's ACW, we're here for you.
Welcome to the new bulk store, Lindo's next.
Mom's celebrating her 70th birthday next month. Have you noticed her age is catching up with her?
Yeah. Plus, she's having a hard time getting up and around like she's used to. I would sure hate to see her fall.
At Medical House Limited, we can help make life situations easier. We have electric beds, motorized scooters, bath stools, walkers, you name it.
Mom's been real good to us. We'll get her birthday and Christmas gifts from Medical House.
Medical House has relocated next to the Dandytown Field, number 6 Bakery Lane, Pembroke. Telephone 292-3622.
Alrighty, welcome back to the big show. Sherry Vanderpool, myself, Shamel Hartman. It's the Daily Hour brought to you by the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindo's, and People's Pharmacy. Folks, don't forget to subscribe on our website. Follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Without further ado, let's bring in our guest for the day. We have ocean educator, executive, and I'm going to say inspirer. You know, he's inspired Maya, as she just said, to want to get in the ocean. She said scuba diving. So let's give a warm welcome to Weldon Wade. Come on.
Wow.
Welcome. Calm down, folks. Calm down. He's okay. Well, welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning, Daily Hour family. It's a privilege and an honor to be back on live. It's been a minute.
Have you, but let's get away from the bubblehead look. I mean, we've got we want to make sure you look cool. We don't want to.
What are you doing?
Yeah. We got to get you looking like us a bit more. You know, situate your body a bit better. Yeah, but hey,
bless Jabal.
Yeah. I get like that sometimes. But Weldon, man, thank you so much for coming back. You're a busy guy. I'm gonna be honest. You have one of the best Instagram pages of any Bermudian, and I say that it's not drama, it's not drunkenness, it's literally the most fun education, and I mean that. I'm Sherry knows I don't do Instagram. I don't, but
pictures are beautiful.
You really show the best of Bermuda. So for those who don't know, and we'll get to the Instagram page, just tell people a bit about your background and what it is that you do so they can have an idea of what I'm speaking of in referencing what you do with your Instagram.
Well, for those of you that know me or not, I don't know. It's a lot. I do a lot to pay my mortgage and keep my lights on. I don't have one job. I recently stood up an instance in a sauna and I got like 13 different projects going on right now, which is really, really exciting. These days, I'm just being as much of an ocean advocate and an eco explorer, trying to get more locals putting their eyes underwater to appreciate our surrounding ocean. It's never more than a mile away. It's our biggest asset. And yeah, I work tirelessly in that space, talking to kids and adults and trying to galvanize the community around purposeful and meaningful events. And what's been interesting is lately I've been taking my work regional. It's a big, big world. And I'm looking at our brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, North America, and believe it or not, most of my Instagram following. And as a side note, it is a lot of work keeping the page dope and engaging and exciting. But most of my followers are in inner cities, on the East Coast, and as far away as Asia. So yeah, I just want to amplify as much of Bermuda as possible. A lot of it has to do with our culture, our traditions, and what makes Bermuda unique. And I did take a couple of notes. I've been watching the broadcast all morning, and I've been dabbling a lot more in the tourism and hospitality space. I do offer an Airbnb experience. It's a very intimate group outing. So that puts me in front of visitors all the time. And what I want to let your viewership know, either live or on replay, is it's important to make sure that people recognize that Bermuda is a real place. Now, I know that might sound like, what you mean? Like people started the Bermuda Triangle. Think of Atlantis, right? Everybody knows of Atlantis, but it's not a real place. So think about Bermuda and realizing that most people around the world don't know that our 21 square mile island, the only landmass in the Sargasso Sea with the northernmost coral reef in the world, is real. So that's a note. And I want to also say that weather is a big deal. I'll be out on the water in about 45 minutes, all goes well, to take advantage of our weather. And I would encourage everybody to get to know to use our weather tools. Things do get a little gnarly later on this week, I think maybe tomorrow. So weather.bm is a great tool. When the radar works, that's great. And Wind Guru is one tool that I use a lot. So yeah,
I just want to go back to what you
said. Bays was life changing. I wanted to add that in there as well on Bermuda Day. So water, whether it's the ocean or the rain, yeah,
I want to go back to what you said about Bermuda being a real place. And I know people will find it funny, but he's actually correct. Like I spend too much time with idiots on Twitter trying to explain that people really do live in Bermuda. It is, but that's all. It's our responsibility, is what Weldon's saying, to ensure that people are educated to know that no, it's a real place. One of the most beautiful places in the world, the most northern coral reef, as he said, like the only island out there in the Sargasso Sea. Like we have to tell our story. We cannot expect other people to tell our story for us the way that we can. So thank you for that, Weldon. Sherry, sorry about that.
Definitely, thank you for that, Weldon. I had those same conversations just a couple of weeks ago. But more importantly, like, how did you become an ocean educator, innovator, and explorer?
That's a really good question. Thank you, Sherry. So I didn't grow up snorkeling, free diving, or scuba diving at all. It was really like a bucket list item when I was 28, 29, to try diving before I relocated overseas. And it was that first dive as part of this bucket list that really opened my eyes to say, like, look, wow, this is what's beneath the surface, right? I think we all have the ability to indulge in passive recreation, right? Just going to the beach, looking at the water, hearing the waves crash against the rocks. Some people do to take the leap of faith and get in, swim, dive, and snorkel, but I hadn't done that. I mean, I jump off the rock, but never mask under. And yeah, I fell in love with it, and it's become my life mission, really, to get as many people to put their eyes on the water to see what's below. It's sort of like going to a circus and standing outside looking at the top of the tent. You really got to put your eyes on the water, get in the tent to really experience what lies beneath. And then, the whole idea there is once you see what's down there and you see how important it is, and you recognize the connection with the ocean, and I lean into the therapeutic side of things with the sea, especially post COVID. I mean, even during COVID, it's like I need something to help calm me, and the ocean is that for me. And so that's kind of where that led me to starting an organization called Guardians of the Reef, which it's a gray area. It's a passion project. It's not a registered charity. It's also not a business. It's something that I fund out of my own pocket for the last 12 years to really try to help galvanize the community and do really good work in collaboration with other organizations, mostly Keep Bermuda Beautiful, BUEI, the Aquarium, and it's led to some really amazing opportunities. And the educator piece is just self-taught, but I love public speaking, going into classrooms and speaking to kids and adults about how important the ocean is.
Well, I'm going to have to take one of your classes because scuba diving is a little scary for me, claustrophobic. So I'm going to have to meet up with you sometime this summer to get through that. Jamel's going to come with me as well.
So what I want to let you guys know is that I'd say 80% of my diving these days is not on scuba at all. I love scuba diving. I think it's amazing discipline if you want to get down and stay down. But most of my diving is snorkeling and free diving.
Just explain free diving. What is the difference between free diving and scuba, real quickly?
Okay, so scuba, I'll go over those three, right? So scuba diving would be well, you need training, you need gear. And you know a scuba diver when you see one, because he or she will have an aluminum cylinder on their backs, one, maybe two, and a jacket to help keep them to maintain their buoyancy, and then hoses that it's a regulator setup, and that all allows us as humans to breathe underwater. And with the proper training and experience and the right gear dialed in, you can really have an amazing time getting underwater and staying underwater. Snorkeling and free diving, you don't have all of that. In fact, on a day like today, we could be in trunks and a rash guard and just have $125 worth of kit, really, for the beginner: a mask, snorkel, fins, and a bathing suit and trunks. And we can get in and put our head down and see what's under the water. I find that in the spaces I'm in, one of the barriers to entry is cost. So I try to really encourage everybody. And if I had the money, I would have every household in Bermuda would have a mesh bag in their foyer by their door with a mask, fins, snorkel, and other supplies, so that we can at any time just grab that mesh bag and get out and put our eyes underwater. So the financial piece is what really and like access. The tank is heavy. The kit is bulky, and it can be quite intimidating. It looks cool, but I think the Daily Hour family, we guys can get a snorkeling trip off Tobacco Bay or Church Bay, execute that way easier and a lot safer. We could do that today. So the boat leaves Robinson's at 9.
Well, with that being said, Weldon, that definitely, I'm sure, could be something that we could do over the summer. We'll get into that a little bit later. But tell us, what is Ocean World Day?
All right. Well, World Ocean Day. What is
World Ocean Day?
Yeah, let's talk about that quickly. So like June is World Oceans Month to some. This is World Oceans Week to some. Tomorrow, June 8th, is World Oceans Day. So, I mean, in my world, every day is Oceans Day. There's always an opportunity to get in the water, even when it's 30 knots out of the southwest in stormy weather. There are still pockets that we can explore safely and have a really, really amazing time. So there's really no excuse other than like tropical storm or whatnot. But so we are celebrating the ocean. And so one of the things I want to share with the community is, while there's no like one singular huge event taking place tomorrow, as in years past, I am working with Bermuda Asset Management, who have partnered with an organization called Bridging the Gap. We are hosting an SDG Disruptor Summit tomorrow. Now, what I want to do is just recognizing, SDG, what's that? Well, got the dates right, back in January 2016, the United Nations established these sustainable development goals. There are 17. And if you were to just Google UN SDG goals, you'll see all 17 of them. And we are zooming in on SDG 14, which is life below water. And that goal, I'm reading it right now, is to conserve and sustainably use the oceans, seas, and marine resources for sustainable development. Now, what I would encourage everyone to do is we issued a press release yesterday that went out to the media, and there's much more information about this event, but it all kicks off tomorrow morning at Bermuda College. There is a registration link on Bridging the Gap's website. You can also visit sdgdisruptorsummit.com for much more information. I know it's just tomorrow. It is a bit last minute, but there still is time for the youth age 17 to 35 to sign up and engage with a number of folks. We have the Deputy Premier on deck. We've got Dr. Karika Weldon in attendance. We've got, a huge lineup of facilitators that are going to be there to have meaningful discussion about the ocean, specifically SDG 14. And some other things going on as well, but that's what's happening tomorrow within my wheelhouse. I'll be there early in the morning, and we're having an afternoon session at Ignite. And yeah, I'm really excited about that. There's so much more that we need to do. We are sort of conservation central. We've got a lot going on in our ocean space.
Well, and I'm gonna just interject right there, and that we can piggyback on that just a little bit further. And basically, how can the community help preserve the ocean?
Shout out to organizations such as Keep Bermuda Beautiful, Bermuda is Love, the Aquarium, Buoy, and all the other blue and green focused Bermuda National Trust. Shout out to Miles. I think right now, today, unlike times in the past, it was quite difficult for individuals looking to engage and do something purposeful for the environment. You kind of had to be on email lists and things like that. But with social media, it's easy, I believe, if you've got the will and the time and the resources, to connect with organizations such as the National Trust, Keep Bermuda Beautiful, and Bermuda is Love, to get out there and do something and make a difference. Put your time towards something that makes a positive impact for the environment. And I always say, there's so many things that we can do on an individual level if we don't want to get together with a group. That could be just when you're walking the beach, doing your run, pick up a few pieces of trash. If you see it, pick it up, put it in the trash can, eat less meat, and know where your fish comes from. That's a very support local fishermen and know where your fish comes from, and learn how to fish, learn how to fillet. When the lobster season comes around, learn how to catch and process a lobster. It's all those little things. I bump into Bermudians and visitors that have never caught a fish, have never filleted a fish, never cooked a fish. So I'm really trying to work with some people in that space to provide even classes at John Smith's Bay where we can hunt an invasive lionfish, hunt a lobster, come back to shore, and actually cook it, and kind of have a class to show people how to do that stuff.
Yeah, I've Jamal doesn't do those things, but I do, Weldon. I've definitely have fished, filleted, done all of that deep sea fishing and so forth. But do you see Jamal's face? Yeah.
I
was looking, and then I looked away. So,
but we all know, summer
paralyzed. But anyway, go ahead.
Summer has kicked off, and we all know that Bermudians love to be on a boat and swim during the summer months. We have seen persons though throw trash into the ocean. Definitely during those raft ups and all of those kind of things. But how detrimental is trash to our waters?
Marine debris is a big deal. It can do a lot of damage to our environment. It does do a lot of damage to our environment. I host numerous beach cleanups, like over the past decade, just countless. I did 2 10-week activations with Rhea Gibbons, and we collected tons of trash. And it's important to recognize that, as locals, we do have some bad apples that will pollute our marine environment, throwing trash off the side of the boat, having raft ups, throwing trash into the ocean. I think that's gotten a bit better. Most of the debris that I collect whenever we do brand audits and sorting the debris and getting that data to Ocean Conservancy, most of the debris is actually long-range foreign debris that has washed in from afar. We're in this gyre, North Atlantic gyre, and a lot of the trash you'll find, the large containers and the rope and the industrial fishing gear that washes up is well seasoned with barnacles, bite marks where turtles and fish have taken nibbles and ingested that plastic, and then we eat the fish, and it's sort of a cascade from there. But I think we're getting better. We do have a thriving local diving community that will dive with a purpose and dive to the bottom and recover that debris and recycle, put into the recycling stream what we can recycle, and send to the incinerator stuff that we will incinerate as part of our waste to energy stream. So I think the community is getting more switched on and more aware. And I know if kids see adults doing some bad behavior, I know the kids tend to be a bit more dialed in these days. But yeah, it's about keeping each other in check, being aware of our actions, and doing what we can to best reuse, conserve, and be very conscious with not only how we spend. I mean, forced discretionary spending is a common theme in my household. Keeping the lights on is important. 52 cents a kilowatt hour. I got too many lights on right now, actually. I gotta get some of these off. But yeah, it's I think we're getting better. I know that there's been some reports about Bermuda being generating the most waste per capita than most other countries, and I think we do have work to do. I'm not saying we're out of we're doing. I think we're doing the best we can with what we have, but we can certainly improve holistically our entire waste management system, whether it is Tynes Bay, the sewage, the outfalls, the airport dump, and those areas, and even just how we deal with our waste. So I think it's important.
Well, then how can the audience find you if they wish to learn more?
Nice. So I'm very active on Instagram, not so much on Facebook. I have a YouTube channel, but just find me on Instagram or Google me. But all of that is found on my webpage at weldonwade.com. Reach out to me if you have any questions or queries about visiting Bermuda, things to do in Bermuda, how to get into diving. Shout out to Dive Bermuda, Blue Water Divers, Deep Blue, Eco Dive, Sea Venture Diving. We do have a recovering diving industry here. COVID was a blow. But if you want to get out there to dive, there are dive operators ready to serve you. And if you want to get out on the water, we got water operators that are standing by. H2O, BDA Water Sports, KS Water Sports, the Blue Hole Water Sports. There are easy ways for you to get out and get on the water and get under the water. So give these guys a call. They'll be happy to serve you.
Just one last question for you before you head out. What would you say to Bermudians who obviously, Sherry said it earlier, they're about to be on the water in boats, they're about to be swimming. What would you say to them in reference to keeping their backyard crystal clear, clean, and safe?
I'd say whether you're taking out a boat or going to the beach, going out of your house, whatever you take or you pick up on the way, stop at the supermarket, pick up some stuff and head to wherever you're going. Just make sure it's disposed of properly. That's sort of the big thing. Take it with you. But even before that, when I think about boating specifically, I was involved in a boat fire a couple of years ago. My boat actually caught on fire with me on it. So I've been in some pretty hairy situations. Just be safe. Be safe. Be aware. And as you're consuming your food and beverages, and it has waste containers and clear wrap and foil paper, right away designate a bag for trash. And make sure everything goes in that bag. I was out over the weekend and I was that guy that was on the pontoon boat, making sure the deck was clean and clear and everything was being put into the bag. Sometimes you got to delegate. Maybe you got to be that guy that's like, nah, boss, don't put your bottles, don't bury them in the sand. The bottle could then break and then you got broken glass in the sand. So we want to avoid at all costs, sharp rocks, broken glass, and Portuguese man of war jellyfish while we're out in the environment. So just be conscious of everything, and just make sure, whether you're on sea, on a watercraft, or on land, just be safe and make sure you get back home, to your families at the end of your outing, so you can do it again tomorrow.
Indeed, and keep marine life safe as well. Weldon, thank you so much. Always a good conversation. A lot of information. And folks, again, I encourage you to share this information, because most people who go out on a boat, go swimming, they're going for fun, they forget something he said just now: disposable stuff. Don't take plastics. Yeah. Take stuff, reusable container stuff of that nature. Weldon, thanks again. Please keep in touch and let us know what's going on, so that we can make sure that we're facilitating it. Follow him on Instagram, folks. You won't regret it. It's one of the most educational but fun pages you'll check out. Have a wonderful day.
I got one more thing to add real quick. Bermudian creators, please share your stuff.
Yes.
We have so many people in our community that have the best gear, best phones, capturing amazing content in 4K, but we're not putting it out there enough. When visitors want to come to Bermuda, particularly diving and ocean stuff, they YouTube us and they Google us. And unfortunately, what they're seeing is not okay. So guys, creators, just publish your stuff. Don't let perfection get in the way of your progress. It doesn't have to be this polished reel. You don't have to learn DaVinci Resolve or Filmora or Premiere. Cut it up nice, put it to some trending music, and publish it, please. I don't want to be one of the handful of guys that are putting out this level of content when we say that Bermuda is the shipwreck capital of the Atlantic. We've got the most beautiful crystal clear water. We've got these amazing caves. Shout out to the Bermuda Tourism Authority. They're doing the best they can with what they have. But we've got so many creators that are sitting on stuff. I'm guilty of that too.
Indeed. But
my
takeaway. It's not just about the sharing it, like creating the content, but also people who share it. So share content that other people not. It's very important to do. Every social media platform has a sharing. Again, trust me, share it in your WhatsApp groups. It's better than the rumors.
Yep.
All right.
Bermuda is a real place, family.
Yes. Thanks so much, Weldon. Talk soon.
Cheers.
All right. Weldon Wade, folks, if you appreciate the conversation and information, you know what to do. Give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Please don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. Come back after this break. Wrap it up with our final thoughts. But before that, daily play. What, Sherry?
Come on.
Hi, welcome to ER Fisheries. I'm Jalen Steed, store manager and trained chef, and I'm here to help you with all of your food needs. Let's talk about why you should come and check out ER Fisheries. We offer the widest range of specialty meats and seafood items at a price point that will absolutely fit your budget. As a chef, I'm able to answer all of your food questions, help you come up with meal ideas, and generally guide you in the right direction. You'll get a custom shopping experience unlike any other food store in Bermuda, where we'll cater to your needs and provide you with excellent customer service. Where else can you get quality cooking advice and quality products? I look forward to helping you with all your meal ideas.
Thanks again to Weldon Wade, folks. Appreciate Weldon coming on. If you appreciate the conversation, give us a thumbs up, a love, a like. Thanks again to the BAC group of companies, Medicals, Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring we can have conversations like what we did with Weldon. It is time for the Daily Play, brought to you by Bermuda Trivia, now available at stores throughout Bermuda. Follow Bermuda Trivia on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok to find out why it's Bermuda's favorite trivia game. Sherry, are you ready?
Let me clear my throat. But yes.
It's music today.
Such a grumpus music today.
All right. How often does Blackstreet think about the girl?
Day and night? Twice? I'm trying to think of this song. Man.
It says all the time, but I don't know what song this is.
I don't know either.
All right, all the time. How often does Blackstreet think about the girl? All the time. Anyone? Oh, Maya, so, what song is it, Maya? I don't know that.
I don't know. I'm trying to hear. I hear a different song. I feel like in my mind.
Anyone know the song? Let us know. Well, regardless of what the song is, Sherry got it wrong. Sherry got it wrong.
You're excited about that, aren't you?
Wow, isn't it?
Diggity.
Really? Wow.
All the time. No, diggity.
You to shame, Sherry.
Yeah, she did.
Yeah.
And in capitals, like, I mean, gosh.
Yeah.
Shouting.
Yeah, and she's yelling at us. Yeah, she's so
Yeah.
mean. So mean. Anyway, final thoughts in today's show. We started off talking about the tourists turning cruise visitors into hotel guests, and then obviously the conversation with Weldon.
As I stated before, Jamal, we got to do, give the tourists what they want and give them value for their money. And we need to try different situations, different things to see what will stick. And I think we have to try to do it first before we could just dismiss not doing so. I think cruise visitors can be valued and be valuable to us, especially with what we got going on right now. As far as Weldon, that was interesting. I love hearing about the ocean and the things that we can do and to make things better. And I love hearing that he's this innovator, educator, and inspirer for the ocean. Bermudians need to take the ocean a little bit more seriously.
Yeah. That conversation with cruise visitors into air visitors, I thought about something, and what I thought about is the cruise ships are actually competitors for Bermuda tourism.
Yeah.
And Bermuda needs to figure out a way to compete with the cruise ships that are bringing people to the island. That to me is the answer right there. I don't know how Bermuda can do that. We have, I'm going to say, I guess they're derelict hotels, Elbow Beach and Fremont, Southampton, right? We need to get hotels open, as people were saying, and we need to figure out a way to, I guess, offer better value, right? So as far as Weldon, I appreciate the work that he's doing. I literally watch his Instagram posts. I think they are some of the best marketing for the island, but some of the most educational posts for people who love the ocean or just love learning new things. So I appreciate the work he's doing. I really do hope that people are able to walk away from seeing his social media with new information and feeling like they've learned something. And I'm thankful that there are people who are standing up. I don't like the ocean in terms of going in there swimming or being on a boat in it, but I appreciate all aspects of it and what it means for Bermuda and the Bermudian economy. Sherry, you've got some daily inspiration for us?
I do. The daily inspiration is being brought to you by ER Fisheries. What you do today can improve all your tomorrows. And that's from Ralph Marston, who's an author.
Nice. Good one. All right, folks. Well, it's time to say, do not forget to subscribe on our website, thedailyhour.com, and follow us on all of our social media channels to stay up to date with all that we have going on. Help us grow beyond the mic as we do our part to continue to improve our community. Thanks again to our partners, the BAC Group of Companies, Medical House Lindos, and People's Pharmacy for ensuring that we're able to do this with you on a daily basis. As always, we appreciate you, we love you, and we thank you for making us part of your daily routine. If all goes well, we'll be back to do this again with you tomorrow. She's Sherry Vanderpool. I'm Jamal Hartman. Please do make it a safe and a great day. We are out. Peace.